Hello everyone, I am Seema Vishwakarma. Today I am going to talk about regression testing. Regression testing is done to determine whether the changed component have introduced any error in unchanged component of the system. So let us understand this with the help of the diagrams which I have on the screen. You could see that there are two modules. These two modules are supposed to be connected. All the parts of these modules are tested individually and it is not showing any kind of error. All parts of this particular modules are also checked. Everything was working fine except for this particular part which had some error. So this is supposed to be rectified. Once it has got rectified, it would be embedded in this module again. Once it is embedded in this module again, we need to see that these things which was working fine are also working fine even after the changes are done to this component which was giving you the error. So some changes which you have done in the module should not end up giving problem in the things which was working fine earlier. So that is supposed to be checked in regression testing. So regression testing basically makes sure that things which was working fine and correctly are working fine even after any new change has been introduced in the module. Regression testing is a special kind of testing when you talk about maintenance. It plays a very important role. So once the system gets deployed, in the maintenance phase, regression testing is done at a very high level. Let us understand at what levels regression testings are done. Regression testings are done at unit level, module level, and at the system level. At unit level, each small component of the systems are tested. These components, if they have any issue, like if there is a problem in one function of a small unit, then the entire unit is supposed to be tested again to make sure that that change in the function which has got rectified, it should not introduce any kind of error in that unit. Second one is module. At module level, we have to make sure that the overall behavior of the modules are as it is, even if one particular part of the module is rectified or corrected. In module level, we have to perform two types of testing, regression as well as retesting. Retesting means the module which was giving you the problem, it should be rectified, it should be tested again, retested, to make sure that that module is not giving you any kind of error. And after that particular module is embedded, we have to make sure that other parts which was working fine are also running as it was expected. So testing the other part is known as regression testing. So there are two terms, regression testing and retesting. So retesting makes sure that the problem areas are rectified and it is retested again to make sure that it is not giving you any issue. Regression testing means because of that rectification which you have done, other areas which was working fine are not giving you any issues later on. It is showing you that same consistent behavior. The next is system level. At system level, it makes sure that all the parts of the system is performing correctly and giving you those same action as it was expected. Any change in any part of the system should not make other smoothly running part to change their behavior. So any corrections if you have done in one part of the system, that is supposed to be tested first, and then the other parts which are working fine are also supposed to be tested. That is known as regression testing. Since you have seen that regression testing makes testing little tedious because all the parts are supposed to be tested again and again, so that is why it is being done at those areas which is considered at a high risk. High risk means those projects which needs more number of testing or rigorous testing. Regression testing is introduced in those type of projects. It involves rerunning. That means performing the same successful test again and again. All the previously running tests are executed again and again to make sure that it is giving you the positive result, the successful result. This is a part of maintenance activity. because if there is some enhancement or upgradation that is needed in the later part of the project, so in that maintenance activity, regression testing is supposed to be done so that those upgrades are not causing harm in the other parts of the system. Iterative methodology and agile methodology are the two methods which are making use of regression testing at a large scale. These two methods rely on adding small parts of the system and making the entire project at the end. So in iterative development, the development of the project takes place in parts. So one part is prepared, then the other part is added. So here regression testing is supposed to be done in each step so that the parts which were working fine are not getting disturbed due to the new part which has got added in the system. Since we have seen regression testing needs lot of testing to be done again and again, so therefore automated tools have been created for performing this task. These are the two popular tools in the market, Selenium and Qtp. These two tools are being used for performing regression testing. All the test cases are supposed to be written inside these tools. Once a new part is added, these test cases which are already saved inside the tools are supposed to be executed. It will perform the testing of all the test cases one by one without the human intervention, and we could get the result very quickly. There are some disadvantages to regression testing. The first and the most important disadvantage is time consuming. If regression testing is completely relying on manual testing, then it becomes really a time consuming task for the individual. Automated tools can only reduce this pressure of time management. Second thing is, even if a small change is being done, that particular thing is supposed to be tested again. Small changes or any small part which has got changed or rectified or added, everything is supposed to be tested again back. That is one of the drawbacks. Let us see what type of questions are expected in the exam from this particular topic. In exam, they can ask you to explain the regression testing, so wherein you can explain the entire concept, and they can also ask you to tell the advantage and the disadvantage of regression testing.